Hi YouTube family, so welcome back today to another video and thank you for joining me today. So today I'm going to be making some barbecue sandwiches and I'm going to be using chicken. I'm going to shred that and use that as my meat, and then I'm going to just have some baked beans, and these are not going to be homemade baked beans. I'm just going to take a can of baked beans and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. And these are the beans that I'm going to be using. These are the Bush vegetarian baked beans, and these are really good. And if you are a vegetarian, or even if you're not, because I'm not vegetarian but I don't eat pork, so I do choose to eat the vegetarian beans, and they're really good. So I'm just going to add a little bit of seasoning to my beans just to jazz it up a little bit. Of course you can, if you're going to make baked beans, you can definitely add your own spin on it. You can add some bacon. If I had some turkey bacon already cooked up, I would chop that finely and add that, but I don't have any that's cooked. It's in the freezer, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to be adding some butter, a little bit of brown sugar, a little bit of barbecue sauce, and then some onions and green pepper, and I'm just going to let those simmer while I prepare my chicken for the barbecue. So let me get started on that. I hope you guys have had a great Monday. Mondays are always the day that I want to get out of the way, and then once Monday's over with, it usually flies by pretty fast. So I just added a little bit of butter to my beans. You don't need much, and you don't even have to add that if you don't want. I'm going to add just a little bit of the Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, and this is just the, I believe this is just the regular flavor. Just squeeze a little bit in there to your liking. And like I said, you don't have to add any of this stuff. You can eat the beans just as they are out of the can and just warm them up. Maybe add a little bit of butter or something like that, but you don't have to. And you definitely don't have to add the barbecue sauce, but I just wanted to add that to mine. And again, it's the Sweet Baby Ray's. And you can also, if you want to opt out and do a little bit of ketchup instead of barbecue sauce, you can also do that. So this is just some brown sugar that I'm going to add, just a little bit of that. You don't need much of that either. So just going to add that to mine. And then I'm going to add in my onions and peppers. And they are going to be slow cooking. My beans are going to just kind of slow cook, and those onions and peppers will give it a lot of flavor. And I just kind of chop those up really finely so it won't be big pieces. And again, if you don't like onions and peppers, you definitely do not have to add that to yours. So I've added that. I'm going to give it a quick stir. And again, we'll just let these simmer on a medium-high heat. Let me get that turned on. Let that simmer while we are cooking making our barbecue. I've already cooked my chicken breasts. I did those in the crock pot today while I was working. So we're just gonna go ahead and shred up the meat and get everything mixed up. So that's what the beans are looking like. And like I said, we're just going to let those slow cook and simmer while we're making it. And they're already done, so they're just going to be kind of letting everything kind of cook together, letting the peppers and onions soften up a little bit. That's all we're trying to do here. So let me grab my lid. And I will cover those and let those cook. And then we're going to move over here to our chicken. So I'm going to show you guys what the chicken looks like. I cooked it in the crock pot today. It looks really good. I just cut up some onion and put that in the crock pot. I cleaned my chicken off. I didn't add any liquid to my crock pot because it always just forms its own liquid from the steam. So you see that little liquid there, that just kind of where it was steaming from the onions and the chicken, and It may have been just a little bit of water in the pot based on the fact that when I cleaned my chicken, of course, it was still wet. So that's probably just what you see there. But you don't have to add any liquid. So just have a plate here. I'm going to go ahead and take my chicken out of the crock pot, place it on this plate, and I'm going to shred it up. And I also wanted to show you guys what I seasoned my chicken with. Real quick, I used some smoked paprika, and this adds a really good flavor because it has a smoky flavor. Then I added a little bit of cayenne pepper, and you don't have to add much of that. It depends on your spice level. I like spicy foods, but I still didn't add much because I didn't want to make it too spicy because I'm not the only one eating it. I added a little bit of this black pepper, a little bit of the onion salt from Trader Joe's, a little bit of pink salt, Himalayan salt, and then I added a little bit of the grilling chicken blend, Mrs. Dash, and again, this is salt free, so you can add a generous amount for flavor, and you don't have to worry about over salting it because it has no salt. So I just added that, and like I said, I chopped up some onion and put that in there, and I just let it slow cook today for probably about 3 hours. And these chicken breasts are not very big, as you can see, so they didn't take much time to cook at all. So I'm going to take these out, and you can see that color that smoked paprika gave it a nice red color, and that's another thing about using the paprika. It does add a nice color to your food. So I'm going to go ahead and get this shredded up and put it in a bowl. Let me move my crock pot down some. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and shred this up, and then we're going to add our barbecue sauce. And I have the original barbecue sauce, but I also have some of the sweet and spicy, I believe. So I think that's the one I'm going to use for my barbecue. And this chicken is very tender. As you can see, it's just coming right apart. And you don't want to shred it too much. You want to have some chunks of chicken in there. You don't want it to be, well, unless you like yours finely shredded. I like mine just kind of lightly shredded. I don't like it in very small pieces because I don't want it to be mushy. I want to be able to taste the chicken in pieces rather than it be finely chopped. And I'm not making much of this because I didn't want to have too much leftovers. I don't really like to have a lot of leftovers. So we're going to go ahead and shred this second piece up here. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I did. Of course, it went by way too fast. As I told you all last week, I was going to eat some crab legs, and I did do that, and they were very good. And then I went out again on Sunday for a friend of mine's birthday. We went to lunch and had chicken and waffles at this diner in Huntersville. I'm in the North Carolina area, but it's called Metro Diner, and I know they have them other places because I've been out of town and also visited one of those restaurants, so you can probably look that up, and if you have that in your area, you may want to try that out. They have really good food. They have a nice selection of different items on their menu. The chicken and waffles are really good. You can get like fried chicken pieces, or you can get chicken tenders. So I got the chicken tenders, and they give you tons of food, so I had some left over that I brought home. So definitely check out that restaurant if you have one in your area, and again, it's called the Metro Diner. Alright, so I have my chicken shredded up, and like I said, I didn't shred it too fine. It's kind of like in nice pieces there. So I'm going to dump this in a bowl, and I'm going to add me some barbecue sauce. Alright. And I'm also going to spoon out some of those onions that cooked with my chicken today and add that to my meat. They've kind of caramelized in there, so those will be really good. So you can definitely get those onions and put those to use. You don't have to throw those away. Alright, so I have that added. So let me grab my barbecue sauce and get that opened up here. And this is the one I'm going to use for my barbecue. And I just put the regular barbecue sauce in the beans, but this is the sweet and spicy. And I love the Sweet Baby Ray's. Let me know down below in the comments what brand of barbecue sauce you like. And I'm just going to start off adding a little bit because I don't want mine to be really wet. And you can always add more to your sandwich if you like, but I don't want it to be really wet. I just want just enough in there, but not too much. And I also have some Kaiser rolls. I'm going to toast those up, and that's what I'm going to use to make my sandwich with. And I also have some coleslaw, and I kind of cheated on that. I did not purchase the coleslaw. I didn't make the coleslaw. I went and just got it from KFC. They have pretty good coleslaw, so I just went and got some from there. Cut down on time, even though it doesn't take long to make it. I just wasn't in the mood for that today. It's Monday, so I'm ready to get this done and relax for the rest of the evening. And you don't want to stir this too much because you don't want to make your chicken, because the chicken is so tender, it can easily turn into smaller pieces the more you stir it. So I'm just kind of lightly stirring it. So I'm going to add just a little tad bit more of my barbecue sauce here. And like I said, you can add more to your bun if you want to do it that way, or if you like more barbecue sauce to begin with, you can definitely add as little or as much as you like. I think that's the consistency that I want mine, so I'm going to stop there. And this is what we have so far. And you can add a little bit of hot sauce to that if you want to. I'm going to add a little bit to mine because, again, I like spicy foods. I did not add a lot of the cayenne pepper. I just added a little dash of it, so it's not going to be too hot. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the Frank's Red Hot. Add a couple of drops of that. And I'm going to stir that in, but I'm going to also go ahead and put my bun on the griddle and get that toasted up. And this is the bread. Let me show you the bread that I'm using. This is just from Lowe's Foods. I don't know if you have that in your area, but they have a good selection of all different types of breads. So these are the Kaiser rolls. And I got these because when I'm making a sandwich, like if I'm making a burger or a barbecue or anything like that, I always want to get some buns that will stand up to the sandwich that you're making. You don't want your bun to be too flimsy where it falls apart when you're picking it up. But if you get a nice hearty bun, it will hold up to your whatever you're putting on it. It will definitely hold up to it and not fall all apart. So just kind of remember that. So I got that nice and stirred up, so we're done with the barbecue, and it was just that simple. Like I said, if you are working from home, this is something good. You can definitely pull out your crock pot. It's that time of year where I like to start pulling out my crock pot and cooking a lot of different things because I can put that in there while I'm working, and when I get off, my meal is pretty much done. So I'm going to check on my beans here. Get those stirred up a little bit. Let those continue to simmer. And I'm going to go ahead and get me a plate and start getting my sandwich ready. Got my bun, is still toasting, so it's almost ready. I'm going to grab my coleslaw. And you can definitely buy you some cabbage and make your own slaw, or you can buy the cabbage that's already shredded up and just add your mayo and your other things to it and make you some coleslaw real quick. I just didn't feel like going to the store because I didn't have all of that stuff on hand. So I just ran to KFC, and they have pretty good coleslaw to me. So I just ran there and got a large size, and probably won't even use all of that, but I just wanted to make sure that I had enough. And this is their coleslaw, and it's pretty good to me. So if you haven't tried that and you don't want to go through the trouble of making it, go ahead and get you some of that. All right, so I'm going to pull my bun off in just a second here and get my sandwich made. And I do want to take this time out to also thank you guys for watching my videos and for all the nice comments that you've been leaving. I definitely appreciate it. I'm new to YouTube, so I'm just trying to build my channel, and I thank you for helping me to do so. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull my buns off of the griddle here. All right, you see that got nice and toasted. And this is the top bun. I just put a little butter on there and let those toast up real good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add me some barbecue here. So let me get this up close so you can see this so far. So I've added my barbecue to the bottom bun here. And like I said, this is enough barbecue sauce for me. But if you want to add more, you can definitely squeeze a little bit more on the top. And then we're going to go ahead and add our coleslaw. And we're basically done. That didn't take any time. Like I said, as long as you get your chicken cooked, you can just get off work and do this very quickly. And you'll be done. So, let's see here. Get a little bit more coleslaw on there. And we're going to add our bun to that. Let me grab a paper towel real quick. Just kind of clean up my plate because I have coleslaw dropping and I want to make it look pretty. So I'm going to clean that up. And I am going to grab a bowl and put me some beans in there. Like I said, the beans were already done. You're just kind of warming everything up and letting those peppers and onions cook. And it doesn't take any time because I had those chopped very finely. So it doesn't take any time for those to soften up. All right, so there you have it. You have your chopped barbecue sandwich. I'll take the bun off and let you guys get a close-up of that, topped with coleslaw. And then you have your baked beans, and like I said, they're not homemade, but I just added a little bit of things to them, but you can definitely do more. And there you have it. Today's dinner is done. Again, it's very quick, very easy, and I'm sure it's going to be delicious. Get a close-up on that for you guys. So there we have it. Some baked beans with the peppers and onions and a little bit of barbecue sauce and brown sugar, and your chopped barbecue sandwich with coleslaw. And that looks very good and didn't take much time at all. So we're gonna go ahead and eat dinner, and I definitely appreciate you guys tuning in and watching again. And don't forget to continue to like, comment, and subscribe, and share my videos with your friends and family. I do appreciate that. And thank you so much for watching, and y'all have a good night.